Ahora los venimos aquí a la mansión donde espantan, como pueden ver allá al fondo. Esa es la mansión amarilla. Y aquí está un poquito de la historia. Se llama The Culbertson Mansion. Dice que fue construida comenzaba en 1867. Era un filantrompista, dice, de aquí de New Albany, Indiana. Y esto está registrado también aquí en Estados Unidos con los lugares históricos de 1974. Así que ya tiene varios años esta mansión, donde supuestamente que espantan a muchas cosas paranormales. Ahí dicen que oyen ruidos, como creo que ahí murieron también la familia, la que hicieron estas casas, como pueden observar. Esta sí está, y es un museo también. Así que vamos a entrar aquí a ver qué se mira o qué pasa. Aquí va a estar en video todo, así que si miran algo, comenten. Y también está la rifa. Está la rifa. Está la rifa que estamos haciendo también. De un dron. Así que pónganle like ahí, suscríbanse al canal y comenten. Esa rifa ya está. Así que para todos los que desean ahí, pues suscríbanse para que puedan ganar ahí el dron. No importa en qué país está, yo se lo mando, así que ahí va a ser una gran rifa. Oh, los tickets. Open? Oh, no. Que hay más gente, quieren entrar. Y todas estas casas aquí son históricas. Ya a ver cuánto tiempo lo han construido, toda esta vecindad. Como pueden ver, esta mansión no es casa, es una mansión que construyeron. Ahí pueden ver, es un lugar histórico del estado. Dice que abren a las 2 y a las 4. ¿Verdad? Oh. Sí, de las 4 p.m. a las 4. Vamos a ver ahorita qué hora es. Esta es la afuera de la casa, como pueden ver. Así es como se mira, miren. De la parte de atrás de la casa. Ahí si observan algo en las ventanas o algo, ahí comenten. O cualquier cosa, si miran algo adentro. Porque dicen que sí, esta casa sí está muy... asustan. Como pueden ver, hay 3 niveles. Vamos a ir adentro a ver qué miramos. Ahí ustedes, ahí miren, ahí si escuchan algo o miran algo, ahí comenten. Esta casa sí hay unos videos aquí en el YouTube donde han grabado también, así que vamos a ver qué miramos nosotros ahora. Como le digo, pónganle like, suscríbanse. Pónganle ahí la campanita ahí. Can go in? Yeah.
Are you not with them?
No, no.
Yeah, you can come on in.
Aquí vamos entrando.
Waiting for one. She's coming down the sidewalk. Oh, okay.
Pueden ver, mire.
Huh?
You guys have change for the crowds?
Yeah. In the cash register, yeah.
Creo que está la gente que eran los dueños de la casa. You have to pay now?
No, near the end.
Oh, at the end? Okay. These the owners?
The original owners,
Yeah.
yeah.
How old is the house, you know?
It was built in 1869.
Like 100 years? No.
Yeah.
More?
150-ish.
150 years.
Yeah.
Esta casa fue construida casi más de 150 años.
We can take pictures.
Yeah.
Are you part owner?
Huh?
Are you part owner?
No, it's a tour guide.
Tour guide. Well, you did a good job then, huh?
Thank you.
I don't know if anybody else is,
Did you ask them?
ours group's not, but there's a couple out here, and then I was talking to a couple, so I don't know if they are.
Como
Well,
pueden
then
ver
we
aquí.
the new woman come up and talk to her.
Miren.
Yeah, they weren't sure they're.
Así que si miran algo ahí, pongan ahí, suscríbanse al canal, comenten. Miren las escaleras para arriba.
I know our group, the red dealer's not coming, but, there's a couple on bicycles that is around the corner, and then
Well, welcome, Culbertson Mansion. I'm Shelby. I'll be your tour guide. Culbertson Mansion, named for the family who lived here first, got William and Cornelia there. I don't know if you all from the area, but he helped basically New Albany to grow during the late 1800s. And William, so when he dies, he's like one of the richest people in Indiana, but he doesn't start out that way. In 1814, he's born in Pennsylvania, in New Market, Pennsylvania. And at 10 years old, his father dies. His mother goes to a widow's home because she can't take care of the kids, so the kids go off to live with another family. At age 15, he gets a job as a clerk in dry goods store. And at 21, he hears about a position in Louisville, which was a growing city at the time. So he takes like a boat here, Ohio River, takes him 2 weeks to get here, so job's already been filled. So he's referred to a place here in New Albany and gets the job, so he works here and lives here for the rest of his life. He doesn't start out on this property, he lives somewhere else over on Pearl Street, and during this time he's getting richer through becoming a clerk and then owning a store with his brother and later son, and going to wholesale, and then going to banking. So down the street we got the First National Bank in New Albany, and that's the building with the Greek style columns in front. It's still there today. And he was the president of that bank, also a president of a company called the New Albany Lights and Coke Company. So gas lighting, also coke, which is a product of coal, is a different type of fuel. And also in investing, he invests in iron and railways, a lot of fuels, a lot of things to help make the city prosper he's investing in. And before he moves into this house, he helps fund the Civil War to the Union side, and he's also married to Eliza, who never lives in this house. It's his first wife. They're married 25 years, they have 8 children together. And we know through her obituary, she was a kind and charitable woman. She's from Corydon, Indiana, which was then the capital. And she he unfortunately dies of typhoid pneumonia. So a few years later, he marries Cornelia from Evansville, and she was a school teacher. And they have a couple of kids together. Only one is actually born in the house. So he has a total of 10 children in his life. And 1867 is when they marry, and he buys his property. It takes 2 years to build, $120,000 to build, which is at least a few million today. And 1869, they move in. Takes another 2 years just to paint everything, get everything decorated. You know, Cornelia chose all these color schemes. And yeah, they're together as a couple for 14 years. Unfortunately, she dies of cholera, which was a very common illness at the time. And so he marries a third and final time to Rebecca from Kentucky. And they don't have any kids together. He's already 70, she's 38, so big age difference, but you know, sometimes that happened back then. And yeah, they're together about 8 years until his death in 1892 from a heart failure. And 1899, Rebecca doesn't want to live here by herself. All the kids are gone. They don't want to buy the house or take the house from them. So Rebecca puts the house up for an estate sale, and the furniture too. So all the furniture you see is from the time era, has been collected by the state over the years, but not from the family themselves. And 1899, John McDonald buys the house, and he only buys it for $7,100. That's because no one just wanted a big place. His house is still in good condition, and he wants to make it to a hospital, but it doesn't end up happening. So he moves his 2 daughters and wife in here, and they're here about 40 years. They bring electricity to the house, and they don't even use the whole house. They block off the 3rd floor of a wall, and they just don't have to worry about heating or lighting that part up. And the kitchen is like, they build the kitchen on the 1st floor because the original's in the basement, but they don't want to use the basement at all, really. And yeah, they're the last actual family to live here. After them, in the 1940s to the 1960s, is the American Legion. They help veterans, and they make this place to a clubhouse. So the basement gets turned to a nightclub, and there's a bar put on this floor where the back porch is, and dancing floor on this side, and a lot of fun stuff happening, like gambling too. And they made the most changes to the house. So back then, it's like historical preservation wasn't really a thing, so they painted all over the walls like white and tan, and they take out like some fireplaces and carpeting. So yeah, that's, since then, 1960s, they moved out. And some people go to the zoning board, they want to make this to a gas station because it's a corner lot. But some people really don't want to see the house torn down, so the New Albany Historic Society forms, and they get the house through donations. They make it to a museum, and start doing tours here. And you can see they like decorate it but not restore, so they make it look as Victorian as possible. Got this green wallpaper and start to furnish it as well. And they're here. So 1979, they donated the house to the state, and the state starts the restoration. So these pictures, you see them peeling away at the walls, layers of paint and wallpaper, and they see it find the original patterns, get paint samples, and restore everything, repaint. So today it's an ongoing process still. The first 2 floors are mostly done. 3rd floor still has a lot of work to be done, so you'll see that as we go up. We'll go up the main stairs, we'll go down the servant stairs, and end in a walkout basement. And you're allowed to take pictures, you can walk around the rooms, you just can't touch anything. So unless there's any questions, we can start in this room. We call this the informal parlor. So basically every day entertaining, guests will be welcomed in here. Mrs. Culbertson usually the one to welcome them, and it's usually Wednesday a set time and on her calling card to show she's always available on this time. So calling cards are basically like social business cards. And look at around the room, we've got the original fireplace. The carpet's about 30 years old. It's made of wool. Style pattern is from the late 1800s pattern. And that piano is special because it belonged to another family, but it's the first piano in New Albany from the 1830s. And that was originally a gas lamp. We also have the original pocket doors. They still work after all these years. It helps that there goes along the floor on a track instead of the ceiling. The ceilings are 15 feet high.
Do you know who this is?
15 pies
I know
para
she's
arriba.
a stage actor. She was in a play written by a later Culbertson, but I'm not sure her name.
Y este piano aquí dice que es de los más antiguos, de los primeros pianos que estaba aquí en New Albany, Indiana. Y son 15 pies de altura. Ahí está el cello, ahí está el piano.
So here's the dining room, and food was carried up by servants from the kitchen in the basement. We haven't found any evidence of a dumbwaiter, but yeah, so look at the ceiling, it's food themed.
Aquí
You
está el
got the
comedor,
original pink marble fireplace there.
más de 15 pies es la estatura del cielo. Aquí donde él comía, aquí está el...
And if you look at the walls, these lines are flat, it just looks like they're engraved near the top.
Whatever you call these.
Yeah.
Bears. Yeah, hurricane bears, yeah.
Yeah, so dinners were always a formal event, even if there were no guests. So always dressing up, always having your best manners. And they thought children were not ready that to eat with the parents. So anyone under 16 would actually eat dinner at an earlier time across the hall in the breakfast room.
That would be.
Breakfast room is actually this way
Oh,
in the
okay.
servants' quarters.
Okay.
And here's a closet. And the doors are all pine, they're just painted to like other types of wood. That was the style back then. And yeah, it goes under the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
When the American
Comenten,
Legion
pongan
was here, they put
suscríbanse,
a telephone
tírenle
there,
like,
too.
si miran algo ahí, comenten también.
And look at the table, you see little salt cellars. That's what these containers are called. The tiny spoons, because salt was expensive back then. And over there you see grape shears. So back then you had to cut the grapes as proper etiquette. You couldn't pluck them.
Where's that at?
Right there.
Oh, there, okay.
And that's a dish warmer by the
I wondered what that
fireplace. The door fell off, so it's in the basement storage.
No, you can see it, then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And this is the cleaner, but okay, it's like shades. I never
Ori. Ahí si miran algo ahí, suscríbanse, pónganle, comenten, pónganle like si ven algo ahí, pongan el comentario. Esta era la cocina.
You
Están
get
aquí.
to the formal parlor next. Normally we don't have chairs set up like this. Last night we had like a ghost telling children's activity in here. Normally it's just like no furniture in the middle and the nicer furniture is set up against the walls. But when the Culbertsons are here, they have weddings, funerals, and like charity events, any like proper floral events being here. You know, one of the daughters was married in here too, and it'd be the best place to show off all the best artwork. So the ceiling is the most intricate in the house. And the windows are actually custom made to be curved, because that's how Cornelia wanted them to be, no corners.
Esta es supuestamente la sala. Pueden
There's
ver.
like gold, silver, copper leaf throughout the ceiling. I know.
Mira este vidrio. Estos vidrios son. ¿Qué piensa Ori? ¿Cómo se mira? ¿Mm? Esta es una mansión. Este es puro antiguo, más de 150 años. Esta casa. Pueden ver. Todas las cosas antiguas del tiempo del mar.
Yeah, today you can also rent the place out, so weddings are still here today.
So, 2 pianos so far.
Yeah, just the two.
Okay. Bunch of classics in there.
Yeah, so Mr. Culbertson would work in here, and his clients would go through that door right there, which leads to a side porch outside. And you know, the ceiling is also themed like arts and sciences.
So we're gonna keep, I see.
Oh yeah, this desk has compartments that come out. It's not a Woodson desk.
Okay.
That's just Indianapolis. So, oh yeah, all these little side compartments that roll out. And on the desk is a replica of a letter from his daughter Anne. She wrote it to her would-be husband Frank. So you got a conservatory here. These panels become shutters.
Para el sol, ¿ves? Que no pega el sol. Aquí donde trabajaba el señor, el dueño de la casa.
And the chandelier also has artists and scientists on the panels. And that came from England along with those green tiles on the fireplace. Because William and his third wife Rebecca went on a 6-month honeymoon to Europe.
Miren las cosas que tenía la gente aquí. Un poco de libro. Así que suscríbanse al canal, pongan el like. ¿Qué miramos aquí?
And they have pianos. So if you look up, you can see
piso se puede ver ahí.
And you'll see these vents throughout the house. So when the house was built, central heating was mostly unheard of, but they brought it here to the house. They have ducts throughout the building that can bring hot air from the basement near the boilers. Hot air would just rise up to all the rooms. We're gonna head up these stairs next.
Al segundo piso vamos ya ahorita.
Yeah, we call this the morning room. This gets pretty good light in the morning. It's like a family room of sorts, casual, doing your hobbies in here. And it could have been like an extra
Aquí sí ya se siente ya la energía ya.
When the McDonald family's here, they added a
Energía.
restroom right here, but it's been changed back since then. So you'll notice there's a copper bin there with, that would have held coal that was used on fireplaces. And the furniture is pretty much to the ground, which was common to find back then, with women wearing a lot of layers and big dresses, and also having a hard time bending over the corset, so they had small children, it's just easier to tend to them, be low to the ground.
Aquí ya se siente ya algo.
Here's
Más
the
fuerte la
bedroom
energía.
right here.
Oh. Este es un cuarto.
So the ceilings here are actually 17 feet high, a little taller than the first floor. This is the bedroom of the youngest, Blanche. She's in that photo right there, the long hair.
Este era el cuarto de la que está allí en el...
She starts out her adult life touring around Europe, then she falls for a man named Lee Hill French, but her father didn't approve of him. So he wrote in his will that they married 10 years after his death, then she's out of the will. 1 year after his death, she elopes with him, gets taken out of the will, but then she contests it and gets her $500,000 back. And then later she actually divorces him and she becomes a suffragette in New York, and that's where she's buried today in the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery.
Esta era la que vivía aquí en este cuarto, miren. Ve a lo largo.
And this wall had to be rebuilt because the American Legion took the original down. You know, his closets here are pretty tall, and most people didn't have closets back then because they were taxed as extra rooms. And here we got costumes from past events like murder mysteries and flute parties.
Lo que tenían bien en el cuarto.
We find another daughter's bedroom in here.
Este es otro cuarto de la hija del señor. Un cuarto.
So here is Anne's bedroom. She's the one who wrote the letter downstairs and got married in the parlor to Frank Semple, who's in that photo right there. And she's 10 years old when she moves in here, so she goes from like big lifestyle change to being in a middle class house to this house. And after she marries Frank, they live here for 2 years because they have their own mansion being built in Minneapolis, where they eventually move to. And yeah, that's where she stays for the rest of her life. The mansion's still there, it's used as a venue. So we got some features like a chair in the corner it's actually a recliner from the time. And they only had one indoor restroom when the Culbertsons were here, so they still have these pitchers with water to refresh themselves and a chamber pot next to the beds. house out in the backyard. We can go to the dressing room next. So yeah, the woman would get dressed in here with help from servants. And we got a replica of Anne's dress from the 1880s. She's actually in this photo right here in the circle. This is a street dress. The original is in Indianapolis, and so you can tell it's a street dress. It doesn't go all the way to the ground, keeps it clean. Several layers of petticoats underneath, and with a corset, she had a 21-inch waist, so pretty small woman. And here's our curling iron from that time, used near like probably a fireplace. And this can help you button your shoes right here, the little hook and the hair clip and face powder. You'll see a stained glass window up on top. During the winter solstice, it creates a scatter effect with the light, so it hits the ceiling lights and makes that effect. We're not sure if it's planned or not, but it could have been. Here is Mrs. Culbertson's room. So not too unusual to have the mothers and fathers separate rooms, at least in the upper classes. And you'll see we call it the rose room also because that's Cornelia, the second wife, loved this color. The third wife, Rebecca, brought back those pink tiles on the fireplace, and the second wife chose the floor tiles, so you see they have difference in taste right there. And if you want, you can look through this. It's called a stereograph or stereoscope, yeah. And that just kind of like a ViewMaster. It just makes photos look 3D.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's probably two babies in the house, like been Cornelia's, and also Anne had her first kid in here in this house, so yeah, at the most two. And if you look under the carpet, you can see like the original wood floors taking out the shapes of the wide planks.
Okay.
This is Mr. Culbertson's room. So this is next to be done, to be restored. Takes a lot of time and money, like tens of thousands, just to restore one room. But we know the walls were this color. We don't really know about the ceiling. And you got two closets and plus windows that open up all the way so you could step out if you wanted to. And eventually we'll put a new fireplace in here.
Nice porch.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Se mira para afuera.
We've got the main stairs next to the third floor.
Vamos a ir para el tercer piso.
roof right now, Mansfield style roof. Back then, each story of a building was taxed, but roofs are not, so you can add rooms inside a roof and not get extra taxes. The rooms we passed are called trunk rooms or storage rooms, still used for storage today. And this is where that wall was when the dog family was here. So this side's darker because all the years of heating that part up, but not this part. And the railing is darker because the third wife Rebecca painted the whole thing a lacquer color, because that was the style then, but then we've been restoring it back to its original color for most of it.
Ver aquí, estamos en el tercer piso, mira. En el tercer piso andamos ahorita. Era la familia del Culbertson, la familia. Unas fotos aquí antiguas.
Great-granddaughter Rebecca Harkness had a house in Rhode Island, and later Taylor Swift bought the house and wrote a song after her, so look.
La gente de la familia que vivía aquí.
That's a saw. It had like a vertical blade go through the hole. Yeah, the pedals move the blade up and down.
Este es el tercer piso, ya andamos aquí en el tercer piso. No he escuchado
Don't
nada.
worry, it's whenever you're finished, we can meet in the hallway.
kind of noisy, huh? The floor.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
noisy.
Cuarto, mira. Este es otro cuarto.
So there were 3 sons on this floor. 2 boys, Charles and Jasper Charles and Joseph had the room next door, but now it's a HVAC room, used for heating, air conditioning, and this belonged to Samuel. So the 2 other boys were in boarding school once a year, so they probably didn't mind sharing that room, but Samuel did not go to boarding school for some reason. He went to a public school, which he had to pay for at the time, and he would have been like 8 or 9 when he moved in here. So being young, he had good access to the servants if he needed anything right there. When he grows up, his father buys him a wedding present, which is the house next door. He has that built for him, and today it's used as a venue. And later, Samuel moves to Louisville with his family to what's now a bed and breakfast on 3rd Street, and he becomes fifth president of Churchill Downs. So if you watch Kentucky Derby, a lot of traditions start under him, like the red rose garland over the winning horse, first Saturday in May, winner's circle, all start under him. He's also the only president who didn't gamble or drink, mostly because of his family, but also because prohibition was going on. Look out the window, you can see the train bridge that William funded, still has trains over it today.
Any spooky stuff you hear? No.
Well, I
Little
haven't
bit.
seen anything, but people say like
Can
electricity
you
goes in and out.
Can you
yeah?
explain what the train bridge is?
Oh,
Like,
I see the train tracks.
the bridge, so like the brown,
this building?
It's housed.
the
I
brown
can't see
bridge.
the
Oh,
name.
there's not, oh, there.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it, I was like.
I thought I was looking for something right in
I was too.
The electric goes.
Yeah, electricity, that's what stuff you hear for years, electricity goes in and out, smell like cigar smoke, things like that. But
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
But-
Oh, I haven't seen anything.
Okay.
The brown.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Eh, pero-
Okay.
Yeah, and next we can go down to the servants' quarters.
Se va a ir la electricidad. Se va a ir. And then you're gonna have. Matar es que di la hora.
Watch your step.
Careful. Vamos para el basement, creo yo.
So it does look a lot plainer over here. This is a roof line, that's why it's tilted that way. But we do know the servants are treated pretty well. They have the same access to doctors and tutors that the family had, also paid pretty well. There are 6 lived-in servants, so 4 women, 2 do this bedroom, 2 below us, and 2 men above the carriage house out back. And this door is locked, but it's just storage, so you can peek through that hole there if you want. Back there is just like a little empty space, maybe a sitting room, you don't really know how it was furnished. As we move downward, you'll see a strange looking window there. Yeah, so they wanted the windows in the back to be symmetrical, look the same, so that's why inside the landing just goes right up to the window. Since there's no, like they didn't have any visitors on this side, it's just okay if they looks like this. Yeah, you can go down these stairs, you'll see the other part of the window, and we'll go to the servant's bedroom. Yeah, so we're back by William's bedroom, just to give you an idea where we are. Those 2 women had this room, and then later in the 1980s, the curator had to live on the grounds, so they had this room and had a full bathroom there installed then too, so got the modern bathroom there. Also had the carpet installed for the curator. And today, bridal parties can use this to get ready, plus some storage as well.
¿Qué piensas, Ori? El tour.
House.
¿Ah?
It's just a house. I don't know.
Es una casa, dice. Pero ahí comenten ustedes, pues, si ven algo ahí, comenten o pongan ahí.
We can go on the balcony next.
Vamos a ir al balcón.
So you'll see the magnolia tree, that's about as old as the house. And the carriage house, so 2 male servants lived and up to 4 horses down below. And today it's used as our haunted house, so a group of volunteers come in and put on a show pretty much inside, jumping out and scaring you. And that raises about at least $20,000 a year for a mansion. Been going on since the 80s.
Does
Nice
that
stuff,
piece
all
down?
this stuff in the yard,
should go.
cherry stuff.
No, pero ese está.
Yeah. And that, over since time, there've been a chicken coop out here too, wood house. No farming because they didn't need to, like no fruits or vegetables. It's an urban area, they just shop for everything. These 2 windows are William's room. This third one looks into nothing, it's just a wall, because they want to be symmetrical again, so, yeah, window to nothing. And we have the flood wall there today, the concrete wall. 1937, we had a great flood and the water went just to the back steps. So they probably could have seen the river from here, or it's kind of hard to tell. Oh.
Como pueden ver, aquí estamos en el balcón. Estamos en el balcón aquí, miren.
We'll go down the stairs next. We'll go all the way down, and you'll see where the original bathroom was, but it's been that house for a while. Yeah, we'll go all the way down there.
Vamos para abajo, para el tercer piso, para abajo ya.
And you can go left to that door there. Yeah. So this was the breakfast room. And if you look at the ceiling, they kept it that way just to show you the process of restoration. And behind that wall is where the kitchen was added, not just a modern kitchen. And we still have the basement to go through, but if you haven't bought your tickets, this would be the time to buy them. And you can also take your time, look at souvenirs if you want.
Oh, because you checked it.
Two adults for your group, right?
Well,
she's
I'm
not.
gonna pay for mine separate.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, it doesn't matter. That's 22, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah. That'd be fine.
¿Mm? ¿Qué es dulce? Dulce. R1. Y RM1. ¿Qué es?
Raspberry.
Raspberry. Ah, pues no quiero, solo para usted. Están vendiendo aquí un poquito de todo, ¿no? Podemos agarrar una cosa de colección. Mansión. Este no. Esto, algo así, quiero comprarle algo así.
This.
Yeah.
That sticker. Okay, yeah.
¿Cuánto va a ser? Usar esto.
And a rock candy.
Is there going to the basement?
No, Dios mío. Y luego para esto.
Yeah, so in the kitchen, we know this cook was named Clarissa Fenley, and she would have used that stove right there, because that's the original, made in Louisville. This would have been like a state-of-the-art stove back then. And this door and these the shelves were not there, so Clarissa could go behind this column where the stove is, and behind there is a door that goes to the outside, so she can either go to the store or get things delivered here. They'd also get ice delivered, because big blocks of ice are kept in caves all year round, and they could put in this ice box, keep their perishables closed. And you got these tongs, that's what they use to carry all the ice. And on the stool is actually a coffee grinder in the time. Got a juicer in that corner on the floor over there. And the water came from a cistern in the backyard. But yeah, cooking would have been done for 7 Culbertsons and 6 servants, any guests they had. So.
The meat grinder,
La cara
probably.
se lo come.
Yeah,
They had one cook that did it all.
yeah. I guess the servants felt dishes, I hope, or at least carry things up. And
Historia, la casa.
I know the middle thing on the ground was for corn to shut it.
Oh, okay, oh, really? Cool.
And next we can go to the final room, it's the laundry room. So in reality, the laundry room was further back this way where our offices are today. Been 2 rooms for that, but I just made a dining room for the servants with coal being pushed behind that wooden door. There's a coal chute beside the building. And we have it set up like a laundry room just to show you what it was like. The laundress would come in once a week. She didn't live here, and she usually attended multiple families throughout the week. So she probably had one of the harder servant jobs. She got washing boards here to scrub the clothes, and a wringer here to dry get the water out, and bar soap would have been used. So I made like a mix of animal fat and soda. Plus these plungers used for laundry, so it helps agitate the clothes in the barrel. Here it's a crimper, so you can make crimping patterns in clothes. This could heat up and help with that. And here's an iron, so they could be up to 10 pounds, pretty heavy, and this helps heat them up. You can use like a stove like that one of hot water used for laundry there, or a little stove heated with oils at the bottom. Yeah, because irons could cool down pretty quickly, so you have to keep changing them out as you iron. And these can hang close, so they actually fold up like that one over there. And carpet beaters, another wringer. This is a washing machine from the 1890s, so not sure the Culbertsons would have had one, but they could afford it. It was a very expensive thing to have, and a little motor would actually be attached to it, so it could move. The clothes are put inside, so like these U-shaped washing boards are inside, agitating the clothes, getting them clean, and water can be drained out the side right here. And finally, that's a apple cider press. We just need a place for it, so that's why it's there.
Estas son las cosas que usaron antes, como para lavar ropa, dicen.
Now, this is the last room of the tour, but are there any questions you have? Or
Very nice tour.
are you from nearby, or?
Hour and a half away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pike County. And then we came to the next door, had a 125th celebration.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and their DAR, so we came down for that.
I was wondering why there's cars parked.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we saw this, I saw it, we Googled it, and
Here we are.
yeah, here we are.
Thank you all for joining us on our tour today. The exit is to the left. There's a sidewalk on either side of the house you can walk on. There's a restroom if you need it.
Terminó ya el tour. Ya.
Again, thank you.
Ahí comenten ahí si miran algo ahí.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice and cool out here.
Todo el tour.